Welcome to Wilson's channel.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is episode 1, but technically the second episode of Chat with Wilson, a live stream segment, or you could call it a podcast. This is my new thing, rebranded. We talked about why I made changes to the previous podcast that I had. Also more info with the exclamation podcast. Thank you, Fana, for that. But yeah, thank you for tuning in, everybody. RJ, welcome in. It is I am your host, Wilson Chang. And simply just putting it as Chat with Wilson, it just fits right in because that's what I like doing anyways on this platform. So if you guys are here as a live audience, shout outs to you guys. For those who are watching this on YouTube, hello. You can see the live audience, their chats on the right side. So make sure to say hi and everything, guys. So on today's episode of Chat with Wilson, because raving is such a big thing in my current day life, I would say, and it's just like very relatable to a lot of the friends that I have and know right now. It's gonna be the main topic. There's a lot of things to really dissect about raving, such as like the beginnings of how I got into it, where I'm at today with it, expectations, and just all sorts of things that we'll dive into. So that will be the main topic of episode 1. You guys could check out these episodes on YouTube later on. Episode 0 is already out. That was about almost 2 hours long. So give or take, these will be around that same range when it comes to duration. I don't know if doing shoutouts are okay while podcasting is happening, so I did the mod version. Oh, you can. So alerts will be offline, just a heads up for everyone. So whenever someone like follows, if there's a raid or anything, it will be offline. But again, thank you guys for tuning in. This is gonna be like a chill, laid back segment anyways. Like it'll always be like that, where I'll just speak to chat and just speak my mind on these topics. Yeah, welcome in episode 1. Let's start off really light, just to see how everyone's been doing. We were talking for like a good half hour to 40 minutes right before this. So, how's everyone doing? What's up, RJ? How's vacay? I know you're traveling right now. Yeah, whatever you guys want to shout out and stuff, like the mods, it'll be like in the chat box, and I don't think it'll distract the stream anyways. So, for me, today was another work day, because I work Monday through Fridays. I slept pretty late yesterday because we were podcasting, and usually I like to sleep before 12. I previously had a cap for me to like stop at 11, but we went through like to like 1 a.m. or something, so it was pretty bad. Pretty bad as in I was so tired this morning, around 9 to 10 a.m. That's like when I'm crashing. But then, you know, with the power of Illenium's music, it carried me throughout that work shift. Serotonin levels, just reminiscing on the old music and just hearing all the melodic vibes, it carried me forward, and I'm happy about that. I'm working in the back of the ambulance watching. Hey, let's go. Thank you too. That's a new one. Pretty sure I fell asleep watching last night. Ain't no way. Oh snap. And then we raided the homie Devin afterwards, Music Crusher. It was his birthday, so I'm glad that I was able to at least say what's up to him. So that was just it. Work today. Being really consistent with the gym. So we had a good old cardio and core day. Two was working out with me, so we got a few miles in. Very nice. I think I hit 5 miles cycling with really sore legs. My legs are so weak, so it gets super duper sore, especially my hammies. Yeah, brutal. At home detoxing from work. That's the move though, to always just detox after a long day. And yeah, we just did like some core workouts and everything, just trying to be super healthy and constantly just trying to improve physically, mentally, all that. I think I missed it. Oh yeah, I think it's because you slept pretty early, as in for PST time zone. Steve, I have a good indicator of when you go to bed. I think it's like at 1 a.m. for your time. Yeah, so we put in work today. It took like a little over 20 minutes to hit those 5 miles. Yeah, it was like 1 a.m. for you. And then got it done. Got our workout done in like a little over an hour. Started the day with anxiety and gymming makes it better. Okay, I'm glad that gymming really helps. It definitely helps for many reasons. And oh, I also took a fat nap afterwards. I feel like it's a waste of time sometimes to nap. But for me, I was like, I know exactly what I'm going to do today. I'm going to get that few extra hours of sleep in and then get started with the podcast and just check out what's going on social media, YouTube, all that sorts. So Leah, welcome in to the first episode of Chat with Wilson. Good morning. Good morning to you. Hope all is well. All right. So that was my day. Again, hope you guys are having an amazing day. We'll jump right into it. Episode 1. Raving. When you guys think about raving, what comes to mind? For me, at least when I first started, it was just like electronic music going crazy, lots of neon glowy lights, and just people going feral and crazy. It was also like I used to think that it was like a underground thing, and then I feel like over the past decade, the exposure just went astronomically, just out of the roof, out of this world, where just so many people are talking about it now. It's like super mainstream, where it's not even underground anymore. It's just like at hosting. It's like hosted at venues. So yeah, that is what I initially thought. And yeah, today it has definitely changed. There's so many different artists and different music out there. There's so many things to know about it. Mr. Cruz, Casey, what up, fellas? Welcome in, guys. We're chatting with Wilson again. Major topic. You already know it's gonna be about raving. So we're just talking about many things. Abandoned warehouse to Bill Graham. So for those who don't know, Bill Graham is just like a huge venue in the Bay Area where raves are usually held at. So underground would be like abandoned warehouses or just different areas where it's just unknown. But it's not low-key anymore. Charles, thank you so much for the resub, by the way, for 28 months. Hope all is well. Love and appreciate you, man. What is good? Yeah, so that's like my initial thoughts about raving and what raving is. It's almost, it's comparable to a concert, but it's definitely different. I guess you could think about different crowds and the movement. There's a lot to it. But I could say that it's fun. It's just super fun. If you haven't experienced it, we'll just talk about it. And then who knows, maybe in the future you guys will make the decision to go. Yeah, get the grind in, Casey. Love that for you. Flat dumbbell pressing. What's up, Angel? Angel all the way from Taiwan. Thanks for checking in. Hope you're doing well. For you, Quiz, hear about raving for the first time. A place where people did drugs and also underground, so it was hard to even go. I thought it was like invite only. Technically, a lot of those events were invite only. Even today, when we have like the pop-ups, you have to like follow their socials, text like a specific number, you know, for ISOXO and Knock2, for example. Yeah. All right. Before actually getting into the nitty-gritty details of raving, I'm gonna just talk about future events that I'm going to attend, like what you guys could expect me to talk about in the future. So this week we got Sabai, which will be at an EDM club. Sabai is a melodic dubstep DJ. A lot of sing-along songs, great vibes. On the rise too. So EDM club is different. And then Wobbleland's next week. Wobbleland is a festival, so a larger scale event that will be at Bill Graham. So the house, the church the rave church we call it in San Francisco. Nah, thanks for checking in and for 3 stream streak. Sad boy, Sabai, sad boy. And then we got Kaivon the week after that, which will be in San Jose Civic Center. Smaller venue, but it is considered a rave. So there is like a difference between festivals, like shows, and clubs. And I'll talk about that briefly afterwards. And then we got Millennium Trilogy, which will be at SoFi Stadium in LA. That will be the beginning of February, so we'll have to travel for that one. And yeah, that one is gonna be so good. So good. Do you prefer smaller venues or a festival? I'll explain what it is and then I'll tell you. Good point. William Black is after that once I come back to the Bay, and then Excision, that's like a back-to-back days. William Black is gonna play at Civic as well, the Civic Center. So I talked about Kaivon. I'll be there. Excision will be at Bill Graham. So that one will be a regular show. But that one's sold out, so that one's gonna be super crowded. And then a Bay Area love story will be held during, like, I think Valentine's week in San Francisco. So this is a different venue called the Midway, and that will be more of a, I think that would be a show, considered a show. Yeah, Slushy's headlining that. And then I'll eventually have multiple breaks, but then other artists I'll see is like Midas and Jana for their own shows in March. And then a big one is Beyond Wonderland. That is also in March, and that is another festival in SoCal. Different area, not going to be in a stadium, but it's going to be held in San Bernardino. So, big event to look forward to. Yeah, William Black is at Civic Center on the 9th or, I think the 9th or 10th, I forgot, of February. Yeah, I'm gonna go to William Black. One of them is on the day of like Lunar New Year's, and then one is the day before. If you guys go, let me know. So, talking about the different venues, there's, again, there's a festival, there's shows, and then there's, I guess you could call it clubs. Those are very different because clubs, usually at clubs there's specific attire. You have to be pretty well dressed, and that's just where EDM artists play. Like, I would probably say smaller scale artists would book clubs, but the vibe is usually different at the club. People are there usually to just, buy drinks, and if you just go to clubs, you understand how different it is. I don't want to say anything wrong about it, but for me, I feel like the etiquette is very different, and I think that's another important topic to go over when there's raving etiquette versus just the clubbing vibes itself. To me, it's like not as, people aren't as friendly overall. Maybe I could say it like that. Yeah, not as friendly, different intentions. It's more so I don't know, it's kind of grimy if I think about it, but it's not bad because I still go and I still enjoy going to EDM clubs. But yeah, let's just say it's different. And then there's shows. So if an artist books a show there, they're like the headliners. It's like smaller scale compared to a whole festival. But there's usually just like one main stage, and it's an actual rave, so you wear like rave accessories type of clothing. It's not like formal like clubs or anything like that. Yeah, you can say that at clubs people try to, like, they're mostly there for hookups, but then there's like certain things when it comes to raving too, because like rave bays and all that. Again, more stuff to talk about. But yeah, shows smaller scale. When I say smaller scale, don't think of like actually like that it's actually small. There's still gonna be hundreds and thousands of people even at shows, depending on how big the venue is. But it's definitely a different vibe at rave shows and festivals. At rave shows and festivals, you could dress a lot more loosely and freely. There's places that allow you to bring like those hydro packs, the water packs. That's definitely essential. And yeah, speaking of candy, it's plur and candy. You could bring candy to both. It's not very common to bring candy, the candy bracelets, to clubs though. However you want. But just know the etiquette is different. And then festivals. Festivals, there's multiple stages. From what I would say. Festivals could also be more than one day. It could be like a 2-day, 3-day event, even more. Multiple artists come through. So half the time there's like an overall like company that hosts these festivals, but sometimes it could be a major artist that hosts the festivals. So you could expect them to be the main headliners or anything. And then they're usually at bigger venues, I would say. And there's a lot of traffic control to make sure that times are split and that people will go to like all these various different sides of like the stages just so that everyone's like safe while having a good time. Enjoy your grapefruit green tea, Angel. So yeah, that's clubbing, shows, and then festivals. I'm going to a lot of those, a lot of different ones. This week is going to be the club. All right, let's talk about how raving started for me. Everyone has their story of how they got into raving. For me, let's go back in time. Let's go back into high school. I feel like there were a lot of artists that popped off and their music just got onto the radio. So, you know, daily radio music. This is back in... This was like probably 2000... I want to say 2012 for sure. Maybe there was like some EDM songs and all that before. Because a lot of it has become mainstream and poppy, you know, pop vibes and stuff. But yeah, let's go back to 2012. I would say that's when I was introduced to certain music. You could call it, they call it the golden era of EDM. So if I look at golden era of EDM, what years would it say? It says, okay, 2011 to 2014. So that's when I was exposed to it. So you get the likes of, yeah, Zed, Alesso, Avicii, Swedish House Mafia, maybe, I think it, like Calvin Harris, Skrillex. There was just a lot of big artists. Probably Hardwell, Armin van Buuren. Yeah, and a lot of their songs, or some of them, just got super viral. Oh, Cruella too. Yeah, Cruella. Clarity was a big one that hit the mainstream music. So those are like poppy house vibes. Your age is showing? What the... So that's when I was exposed to it. Skrillex probably played earlier than that too, but I remember his specific song that blew up was called Monsters and Sprites, something like that. So yeah. What's up, Snowflake? Welcome in. I sent you a whisper? Okay, for sure, for sure. Oh shoot. I don't know how you want me to react to that because of, you know. Huge. All I'm gonna say is congrats at least. Thanks for tuning into the podcast, Snowflake. Yeah, Scary Monsters and Sprites. First album I listened to. Yeah, that's the one that I mainly know. Yo, Ben, what's up, man? Benjamin is here. I'm a Countdown flu victim. You got the flu from Countdown? Dude, I think I had the flu right before it too. I hope you're feeling better. Thank you guys for tuning in to Chat with Wilson podcast talk segment, episode 1. We're talking about raving, so we'll talk about Countdown too. We can. So it all started for me back in 2012. Exposed to the music, I realized that a lot of my peers and classmates were really into the music as well. The thing is that I I was I was more so introverted back then, and I wasn't really like the party type of person. So when it comes to raving and everything, my classmates, they started pretty early. You know, there was a thing about using fake IDs to go to events because most events are 18 plus. But I wasn't about that life, you know. I was a good child. So I would say that I was a good child and I stayed away from a lot of the partying and going to events and stuff. So you can imagine that they did lots of things early on, so including drinking and all that. We'll talk about a lot of things when it comes to raving, especially for advice. Hell yeah. And my day was great, Snowflake, by the way. Just work, and now we're chatting it up. Ooh, I'll also be seeing Sabai this weekend too. Not tomorrow, but Saturday. Have fun with that. Sabai's sick. Oh yeah, the kid that said, "Oh my god," in that song, yeah, for the Scary Monsters and Sprites. Skrillex throwback. So when they went to these events, I just listened to the music. So I named a lot of the older artists. And then it wasn't until I think my first event, although I listened in 2012. So I graduated from high school in 2013. Just a heads up, all right? Don't say it's old. Don't say I'm old. Don't do me dirty like that. So I went into college by late 2013, and it was still really big. There was I still remember Avicii's music were so iconic for me back then. I would always drive to school and listen on the radio. Like, what song was it from Avicii? Oh, Wake Me Up. That one was a huge one. So wake me up when it's all over. Till I'm wiser and I'm older. Something like that. Thanks, I'm very young. Thanks, Steve. So that one was a big song, and lots of other ones. And then I finally got like that rave exposure. Probably, I would say that I can recall my first event was in 2016, early 2016. So my college at the time, I went to SJSU, San Jose State. They hosted events at the event center at our college campus. So the first one I ever went to was something called... Oh, dang. Oh, there you go. It's called Electric Bounce House, EBH4. Let's see how you feel tomorrow, by the way, Ben, before you decide to go and everything. It also depends when you got your symptoms. Thank you so much, Nat. I know it's pretty late for you. Thank you. And yes, you could catch the VOD or the YouTube episode. Have a wonderful night. And yes, I appreciate you. Thank you. Excuse me. Look, if you guys could see. Right here. This poster. That was my first rave event that I could recall that I've gone to. It is a picture of Diplo and Dylan Francis. So if you guys know those artists, they were there. Cash Cash was there as an opener, and St. John. So if you guys know from the radio station 99.7, yeah, St. John was there. So that was pretty fun. I recall I went with a bunch of high school friends that were in the same college as me. I remember we were like in the front right side of the stage. It was different back then. Like for me, I went because people invited me. It wasn't like out of my own will to want to go. Yeah, so that was my first event. I also went with I went with my ex at the time. So that was our first event. And then I just remember my high school friends being there. I think they've been to a few before that already. So they were kind of, in a way, making sure we were having fun. Because there's no set expectations. And I wasn't a big fan of like crowds anyways. But I don't recall it being super duper crowded. I just remember experiencing it for the first time, being like, okay, the music goes crazy. It gets hot pretty quick, especially at indoor venues. Yeah, because when you're moving a lot with like a huge crowd, it's bound to get hot. You have jerseys to commemorate the raves? Ooh, that is expensive. Yeah, that is a sick early lineup though. The crazy thing is about jerseys. We talk about jerseys. A lot of people like buying accessories and jerseys, right? But for me, I don't have a single jersey. I never bought a jersey, so in due time, I might get my first one. Out of all these years of raving, I'll probably finally get my first jersey. I got my first pashmina recently at Escape, which was in October, the end of October, and it was Arm & Hammer, so I got it mainly because it was cold, and I was like, you know, it's about time that I actually get one. Yeah, join the jersey gang for sure. I do want to do that. Oh my god, yeah, and Sabai stuff, we just saw it. And then Phantom, our homie, just bought the t-shirt, he said. So yeah, if you guys are going through tomorrow, have lots of fun. So that was my first event. I think after that, I don't think I fell in love with it though. Like the music and the vibes. It was just whatever to me. It was like half being dragged out and half of like, okay, experiencing something new. It wasn't until... So after EBH4, I believe that was early spring or early on in the year. So I had a really close friend who started getting into Illenium. And this was like Illenium's first album stuff we're talking about. He probably just released like remixes of like the song that goes like Don't Let Me Down, and then yeah, his first album Ashes, which debuted in 2016. He had a show in Santa Cruz. I think this was in May. So like the week before, my friend was like, hey, you should check out this music. And I thought it was really good. And then he's like, oh, he has a show at the Catalyst. It'll be his first... I think that was his first show ever in Cali. I might be wrong, but yeah. So I went to the Catalyst with a bunch of friends. The crazy thing is, it was so long ago that I can't remember which specific friends went with me to that event. I just remember that driving to Santa Cruz sucks, in my opinion, especially driving on the 17. I just remember that I was the one that drove back. And it was not fun, but I drive safe, so it's okay. So it was pretty lit. There's a lot of curvy roads on the 17, but it's not about that. The fact that we went to see Illenium back then was crazy to me, because years later, I would talk about that venue, the Catalyst and everything, and then I would have friends, mutual or friends today, that are just like, wait, I went to that one too. And I'm like, wow, we could have met many, many years ago. I always see you as passenger princess. that is a different topic to go over in the future. But you're right. I haven't really driven like that in what, I haven't driven like that since even before COVID. So it's been years, like 4 years or something since I've been driving like that. Oh, and Sabai is performing at Pier. So Pier nightclub this Saturday. You can still go. Tickets are at the last tier right now. But it's Saturday, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. So Illenium was my my second show, and it was awesome. It was pretty cool. Just being able to experience different venues is, I guess it's bittersweet. However, I've only been to the Catalyst once, so I don't remember anything about it that much. I just remember it was kind of like a square, and similar to Bill Graham, where there's people on the second level. Something like that. It's almost as if it was like bleachers or something. There's one jersey that's been on my hunting list. What is that? Dude, I can't believe you guys all know about the passenger princess stuff. First show was Alchemy in Long Beach. Ooh, in Long Beach. Dude, that's a fire show. 7 Lines and Slander. The fact that they're so big now today. Dab the Sky when Dabin was at Lost Lands. Oh, I think I know which ones you're talking about. Because I believe people wore those. They wore those jerseys at Nocturnal. The Dab the Sky ones. Oh no, not the ads. Oh, so you started in 2018 and 19. Okay, okay. Yeah, so that's how it started. And then throughout the years, I would go to a few events here and there. I recall going to multiple, like Millennium was the traditional rave. So my friend's birthday is like near the time that Millennium would come through, which is in November, near Thanksgiving weekend. Millennium would always come through, I swear, since like at least maybe 2017, 18. I went to both of those. I think I skipped 2019. I'm pretty sure I skipped 2019. I did. So I went 2017, 2018, and then he got super big. But aside from that, I went to other shows that I can remember, like Zed, Axwell and Grosso. My very first festival. Oh, Quiz, thank you so much for the gifted sub to Ben, by the way. You're amazing. Thank you so much. Only did 2 raves in that time. Didn't rave again until end of 22. That's very similar to my story because I didn't go to many raves like that until recently. So it would be very sporadic. But my first ever festival was in my memory's kind of bad. I think 2017. It might be 2017 or 18. There is an event called Audiotistic, which is outdoor, and it was in Mountain View. It was like pretty crazy to me too. It felt like going to a festival felt very different because there's a lot of split sections where you could buy food and drinks. It felt like an outdoor like flea market in a sense, where there's just multiple stages. It's way bigger, but there's just like shops. There's people selling their merch or accessories. I remember, I think like fidget spinners was like a big thing back then. So we would just walk around, explore, and then see all these different stages. The thing about Audiotistic is that they also invited non-EDM artists. So the one that I went to, I believe the closer was Marshmello. Slander was there. There was, I think Nightmare was there too. Ghastly. There was Lil Uzi Vert. I remember that. That was so random. We're talking about Audiotistic. Lil Uzi Vert was there at one point. I think there was Joyride. There's just 2 main stages, but I was mainly at one. You went to that one? Was it the same lineup? Yeah, that was in either 2017 or 2018. The difference is that at festivals, it starts pretty early. So I think it started around 2 or 3. And it gets pretty hot, especially during the summertime. And then it gets pretty cold, like, afterwards. Oh, you went to a later one. Okay. I've been to 2 different Audiotistics. The second time I went was 2022? Yeah, 2022. And that one was... Oh, who played that one? Oh, Rez. Rez was the closer for the day that I went. I don't know if you went to that one. Set the Sky? Okay. Okay. I don't think I saw that one. Yo, Jory, welcome in! Welcome in to the Chat with Wilson, episode 1 pod or chatting segment. Hope all is well. It's very difficult for me to remember raves from back then because I didn't really have a passion for it, or I didn't really care too much about it, so I didn't really save any sort of memory about it, like photos. I took photos here and there, but I didn't keep track of the events I've went to in the past. Woo! Chatting with Wilson, let's go! Set the Sky's fire. So that was my first festival. And yeah, we're talking about how it started then versus now. I think I slowed down. I for sure slowed down and didn't go to a lot of events. And then there was a period where I completely stopped. I just had no more interest. And during that time, it was like my friends were going to events like every single month, and they were just going crazy with it. They would ask me to go, but I would be like, nah, not for me. I hate crowds. I hate fucked up people. As in, I hate or I disliked people who don't know how to take care of themselves when they're like intoxicated and stuff. That's what I mean by that. And even today, that's a pet peeve, but like I'm more lenient about it. Sudden death. I don't remember sudden death. Interesting. But yeah, they stopped Audiotistic, by the way, or at least last year they took a break. So if I'm talking about back then versus now, how I got back into EDM is very, very different. I started because of streaming. Yo, shoutouts to all the Twitch homies and everything. Because of streaming, met a lot of people who are willing to meet up and to go to freaking Illenium. Illenium 2021 was like the resurgence, the comeback. After COVID and everything, it was the comeback season for Raving. And that was insane. Because now we're talking about a whole new group of friends. At Bill Graham, yeah, Fallen Embers. So think about this: going to a rave with people that you met online and would be going to a first rave with them, and just vibing out to your favorite DJ. That was so fun. 3 days. I think it was also Thanksgiving weekend. I believe Illenium played on like a Wednesday and then Friday, Saturday. We went on, I think it was Friday. I want to say Friday. Oh yeah, and there was a throwback show too, so 4. Dude, you're insane. I'm glad. If it was me now, the Wilson now would have gone like every single day. But the Wilson back then was getting back into it, so one day was perfectly fine. Went with a lot of homies that you guys might know, like Cherry. That was my first time meeting Cherry. Green Girl, Vinny Q was there, Chill XVP, Umami, Mango, China, so many people. Yo, Michelle, welcome back. Sunshine Mulan in the house. Hello, Mr. Buff Wilson. Oh, you cut it short this time. Thanks, I appreciate that. Oh man, the story about Illenium though. Ooh, coming back to Raving because of like Vinny and them was definitely such a vibe. And the thing is, we made new friends. I remember that, but 2 of our friends couldn't go in. I remember China forgot her ID or didn't have an ID, so they wouldn't let her in. So what happened was that she just stayed back at the Airbnb with Mango. But damn, it's like we took pictures in the garage at least before we went in, and I made a whole vlog about it. So that was the resurgence, 2021. 2019 Illenium was your first one? Wow, that's the one I skipped too. Okay, and then after going to Illenium in 2021, I still wasn't into it like that. I wasn't big into EDM like after that one event. It wasn't until, let me see, we're going into 2022. The next big event that we had planned was EDC. I think it was EDC. But EDC 2022 was life-changing for me. I'm not gonna be like over dramatic about it, but it was just so special to go to EDC for my first time. Are you going to Trilogy? I am. I'm going both days. How about you? I'm excited. It'll be my first Trilogy. 2019 Illenium was your second rave? Woo! Ascend was best show? Damn, I missed that one. Welcome back, Jericho. EDC 2022. I vlogged this whole thing. I could play it like some other time, but it was my first experience of like going to a huge festival, because EDC has so many different stages, tens of thousands of people. I'm pretty sure. And then friends from all over the world were traveling on Twitch to meet up at EDC. So it was just way, way bigger than just going to a show, a Millennium show. Yeah, so that was it. Millennium, and then I took half a year of a break and then went to EDC. Got to meet so many people in person, and I really felt the serotonin levels, so much happiness and excitement. And also, I was really anxious too, I feel like, because, dude, EDC gets crazy. We're talking about the service isn't the best. It's so easy to lose your group and to get lost. Wild. Yeah, and I met you for the first time there, Drew. Wait, what? Wilson was in the shadow round we met? Okay. I wouldn't say shadow round, but I was somewhere. A lot of friends were somewhere during that time. I still need a ticket. Actually, I don't even know what the hydration packs. Is it allowed? I feel like hydro packs should be. Really? No hydros? Aw, crap. All bad. Yeah, I would say that during 2022 is when I started enjoying Raving so much more. Like, I was a lot more free-spirited, and in Drew's case, he says fun. Like, I was actually vibing like crazy to all the music and stuff. Jamming. Straight jamming. So that's a core memory for me. EDC 22. Just to like cut it short. Got to see so many amazing artists, especially my go, Elenium, Zed, all that sorts. And then just being able to vibe with so many different groups. So special. Holding water bottles. Dude, the no hydration pack rule sucks. Yeah, I guess we'll read the rules and stuff later, or as it's closer. And then, so that was the resurgence. After EDC, I went to a lot of other events because friends invited me. So huge shout outs to Viv and Smokes for dragging me out to events. Like, they were willing to like buy my tickets and everything, and then we would just have lots of like fun for sure. So many different events. 22, like 6 more. Let's see. Get those collapsible plastic flasks and fill it with water when you get in. Ooh, if they allow that, yeah. Or no, you can sneak those, huh? I need a friend like Smokes. Yeah, that was like the jump start that I needed to actually be where I'm at today. The sneaky pouches. Dude, I knew you guys were gonna talk about that. Okay, fast forward. That was 2022, and then 2023. You guys, a lot of you guys already know that was my rave slave era. I'm still in that era right now. 2022, I went to 6 events. 6 EDM events, and that was my most. That was the most I've ever been to in a year. And then 23 comes along. I guess the second half is when I started going crazy. I started dialing into the plur vibes and just enjoying everything. So I ended up going to 55 events. 55 different events. Multiple days though. There's like way more than 55 days because some events were like 2 days or 3 days. Including EDC, for example. So 55 events, EDC has 3 days. Some events have 2 days, like Breakaway Festival, for example, all that. Yeah, 55. I've been going to an event at least once a week. Once a week since August. So mid-August. Like, before that, I went for a few consecutive weeks. I took 1 week off. I think I took 1 week off because of the spelling bee. Drew. So during that time, if you remember the Ohana spelling bee. And then ever since that, I've been going to an event every single week. I count each day. I count it as a collective. If I counted it as each day, then I don't know. It might be like around like about 70. Might. maybe 60, 70. Actually, no. It would probably just be like low 60s. Because I'm just thinking about the festivals. Like Zombieland, Countdown, Breakaway, Escape, EDC, Nocturnal. Yeah. I had my first sober weekend since Christmas of 21. Jesus. I think I just need a friend that would let me know what events are coming up because it's low-key hard to... Oh, that is a great point. That is actually a great point. So how I evolved. I went from a guy that would just go to events whenever people would ask me to go to the one that's now initiating to go to events. I'm like right now I'm deep into it. I do my research. I try to see which artists are going to come during what days. I look at their style of music. I check out the venues for mostly San Francisco and San Francisco, San Jose. I also try to see which festivals are close by in SoCal or something. So I'm like on top of it, and then I would tell my friends about it in advance or on the fly, so it's pretty funny. Like we're deep into it. And then I would like DM people and just be like, hey, there's an event this weekend if you want to go. But it's pretty cool because a lot of people are down. Literally, we say no. A lot of people, because I've been going to so much, people are like pretty surprised. And then now they say no, and I totally understand. Like if people say no, it's okay. It's fine. I told myself, I'm like, alright, if it gets to the point where no one goes at all, then I'm just gonna have to suck it up and I would have to go solo. And I've never been to an event solo before, and I feel like there's a beauty of going solo because you could potentially meet a lot of cool people, you could get adopted into groups. But like beforehand, I had a mindset where it was just like, I can't go unless friends go. But I think I'm at the point where I would be willing to go solo. Solo is fun. Yeah, a lot of people have told me that solo is fun, so I believe y'all. Add me to that list. I would. I definitely will. Remember, this Saturday, okay? And then Wobbleland, I'll see you next week. Checking out the venue is actually smart because they update the calendar and there's only so many venues you can check. Yes! Plus, there's like the app and the website, EDM Train. That one's pretty helpful. You can see what events are nearby. Add you too? I do. I literally tell you like every time. Michelle. Outside Lands, House made some friends. Girls who at the white girl. What the? Zoo is goated. Yeah, that's a thing too, man. There's so many topics and subtopics you can talk about when it comes to raving, like solo quest or side questing, or just going solo, even when you go in with a group. Okay, so literally side questing. Steve, have a wonderful night. Thank you for tuning into the stream, man. Get some good rest. Yeah, this Saturday is a bye. Alright. So I talked about the first festivals and everything. How I started. The furthest I've ever traveled for an event was only to EDC. So that's actually not too far. I've only been to a crap ton of Cali events. That EDC is the only one that I've been to outside of Cali. So I've only been to EDC twice. It'll be my third time this year. Yo, you guys are using the PP stuff? Okay. Wait, what drink? Uh-oh. Briefly talking about favorite artists and the different genres. If you guys are not familiar with like the EDM scene and everything, there's so many genres and subgenres, and honestly it could be very, even today it's very tricky. I don't know my different genres like that because there's so many, but I'm getting better at it. Like you kind of have to study it and hear it very often to know the different genres. Yo, Ali, thank you for the resub for 12 months or one whole year. Happy 1 year. Thank you. I appreciate you. What's up? Welcome into the podcast. So, as of now, when I first started, I was really big into the golden era of EDM. So, a lot of the house music and progressive house. And then nowadays, it like evolved. And now I'm really big on dubstep and like melodic bass. Call it future bass. I still like house. Like, house is chill. And then now there's like other stuff like drum and bass is pretty sick for me. Easing my way into hard style and techno. I feel like I could do trance to a certain degree. And same for rhythm. There's just so many things. I got a machine I like. Thank you for lurkies, Cherry. Do what you gotta do. Yo, big hugs. But my favorite artist, like if you guys want look at my Spotify rap and everything, it's a lot of melodic dubstep for sure. So we're talking about, you know, people love Millennium. I love Millennium. So Millennium, Dabin, Slander. I like Griffin, William Black. I've been getting really big on BTSM and Arm & Hammer. So many. I can't last in house. Yeah, people just like the harder stuff. Maybe not fast tempo, but just like more bassy stuff. You have a favorite song right now? Like the first that comes to mind? I've been listening to a lot of different melodic stuff, but the first ones that come to mind would definitely be like a lot of the Dabin stuff. So like Alive, X Starbright, Worlds Away, Hollow. I was on my Griffin wave for a little bit while Griffin was here. He likes Taylor Swift. Yeah, you know, like Millennium's remix of Anti-Hero, that one's pretty fire. Dude, you're doing Dabin so dirty with that Stay in Bloom. So those are some of my favorite artists, and yeah, there's a lot of different genres. Stay in Bloom has one more day of releasing the lineup. Let's see who will perform there. Curious to know if there would be a back-to-back. Waiting for Taylor Swift to bring out Millennium and convert the entire stadium to EDM. Yo, EDM is constantly growing. It's constantly growing. We're talking about how it was mainstream, so yeah. Last one they release is The Last Person. It should be like Friday, so today or tomorrow should be the last few. What's up, JB? You coming to the club tomorrow? No. I'm going on Saturday though. How about you? That'll be the whole lineup, because it's like a 2-day festival, and I feel like it's only one or two stages. Fun fact, Taylor Swift's concert in Seattle caused a wreck. 2.3? Really? Dang, okay. What's up, Mild Child? Welcome in. First time chatter. How are you? In the Bay Area streets where city lights gleam, Wilson Chang, the Asian homie, dreams his dream. Hosting a chat, episode 1 unfolds, raving about a bed in the back he holds. Place for rest in the urban sprawl as Wilson Chang shares, standing tall. EDM pulsates, the beats always growing. In the city's heart where dreams keep flowing. What in the world? Got some bars in the chat. What's up? How's it going? That is pretty sick. Welcome into the first episode of the pod. More stuff. I think a good segue is to talk about pros and cons. Pros and cons of going to these events. Tomorrow's Renee's birthday. I had no idea, but I hope you guys have fun. Where are you guys going? Yeah, we could talk about the pros first, because pros are easy. Because dude, pros, the music. If you go for the music, it's wonderful. Whether you're exposed to new music or not, or whether you already know it, you've done your homework. I love the music. The vibes feel great. Again, the serotonin levels, the dopamine. Going with your friends is always a blast. you could take raving as an alternative to partying, of course, and just like vibing. Um, people do like getting messed up. Like we're talking about like effed up, like drunk and everything, but it's not like that's the main reason I go. But I understand why people go for those reasons. So I'm not gonna judge people that go for that reason, just to let loose and enjoy like their time. Other pros to think about is the culture of it. The culture of raving is pretty cool. A lot of people are nice. You get to meet so many people. Candy trading, plur, peace, love, unity, respect. There's just like that rave etiquette that's very wholesome and sweet. You could trade candy, you could trade pearlers, you could give out little toys and stuff. Yeah, it's just like a great time. Just imagine a concert. If you haven't been to a rave, just imagine a concert, probably more extreme. And yeah, except there's just like a whole culture for it. Yo, GM, what's good? This isn't Halloween, bro. What's up, man? Welcome in. That's me. Yeah, you like getting lit, but it's a vibe, and you could control yourself, so it's nice. Candy, the candy bracelets. So that's the trading. So Kandi. Oh yeah, they've been giving little ducks. There's like sprouts, if you guys know what sprouts are. There's also little shrooms, like actual little glowy mushrooms. This is a sprout. I like giving these sprouts out. Yeah, you just give little gifts to people, you know, make their day, make them happy. Great conversation starter, all these sorts of things. Yeah, so you would just take a sprout and then just put it in your hair or something. And then there you go. And now you'll see a bunch of people with these. It's just cool. This is an elementary school. Dude, you got bracelets in elementary school? Wow, you're lucky. You're so lucky. I'm gonna start handing out do-rags at events. Hey, I mean, if you can, go for it. Yeah, the thing about giving candy and all that plur stuff, the vibes, it really depends on the person. And it depends on the group that you bump into or the people you meet, because there's so many people that go to raves, right? So everyone has different intentions. Some might be more closed off, which is absolutely fine. You might meet some friendly people that would trade you and everything. So it's always a event by event scenario. So more pros. What else can I think of? Just aside from just vibing with people, connecting with people. For me, I don't know. It's just making memories, honestly. Yo, so what's candy? Just candy is like the candy bracelets we're talking about is what people wear to raves or events, and it's made of like there's certain words on it. It doesn't have to have words, but there's like different colors and everything, different styles. You just use it to potentially give it out to people. So it's an accessory, right? Yeah, beads. There you go, beads. You trade people and it could say whatever. Like it could honestly say whatever. You could say like raving, have a nice day, plur. You could say some crazy stuff. There's a lot of crazy stuff you could say. Like what Jetty gave me, he put like daddy milkers or something. It's, if you want to give it to a friend, give it to a friend. If you want to give it to a stranger, yeah, little bracelets. So you just gotta go with the peace. Kenny making shame done that, yeah. So you go up to someone, you think they're cool, right? Imagine you're dancing with someone, maybe you're headbanging with them, you're jamming out, you like their vibe and their energy. If you want to trade the bracelet, you can. It's your way of showing like appreciation for their company or something, or you just feel like they're good peoples. Yeah, that's the part of the culture, right? So peace and then love, you make the heart together. Yeah. Peace, love, unity, and then bam, you respect. At this point, when you lock hands, you trade the candy, you slide it over, and hope it doesn't break, because that shit breaks sometimes. And then they trade you. Mindset ABB. I made ABB candy and ABG candy for my homies, you know? It's different. And sleeping, welcome in, by the way. What's up, man? And some women start talking to me at events, so look at their wrist and ask if they have a wristband. Bruh. Okay, that's a whole different thing, but interesting. Oh yeah, just remember guys, at events, it's usually 18 plus, but there are other events at raves that's 21 plus. But usually when you go in, there's alcohol that's served, or you could buy alcohol. You could go get wristbands, okay? So if you have a wristband, you show your ID and everything, that's confirmation that you're at least 21. So if you're on the lookout for other people, just be wary that you could tell if they're 21 and older or not. I bet Wilson's got a number on it. Nah. I don't think I've never gotten a number or anything. Yo, what's up, Derpy? Hope all as well. Welcome in. Dude, yeah, when you play with the right people, it's so meaningful because you guys just like hug it out and the vibes are just so great. Like you're just in a happy mental state where you're just enjoying music with great company. It's one of the best feelings, honestly. This is why it's very addicting for me to go. Unless they're running a fake, yeah. Just be careful, alright? Be careful who you talk to, approach, and just all that. It's kind of like a given. If you're gonna go to these events, be safe. Take care of your friends, take care of each other, especially yourself. Be responsible. And I can talk about advice, so we'll talk about advice afterwards. So cons of raving. I'll just explain a lot of random ones I can think of. It could be to like a milder degree or just like way more. Depends on the person. Yes, money. It adds up. It is so expensive. It is an investment. Prices are skyrocketing from back then versus now. Different venues. If you're addicted to going and you love just going to all these events, you're gonna have to work your ass off and you gotta pay for these, alright? The women's bathroom lines can be pretty long, so you gotta space it out, your timing to use the restroom and everything. Don't people get drugged and robbed there? I could say that people get drugged and robbed just anywhere. Like it could potentially happen at any event, but regardless, you just have to be safe and be careful. Like there have been stories at different like events and areas just all around. It's not just like specifically raves, but it could happen. So always be careful. You don't know why. Like most time you don't know why people do bad things. Other cons aside from tickets, it could get very crowded. So if you're not a fan of being in big crowds, that's something to be worried about. But you could also stand in certain areas or you could be in seated areas, so it's not like you have to put yourself through that. Yeah, you could be in the back. Cons is dealing with shitty people. It's possible that people aren't very plur and not very good vibes there, or there's people that could be super effed up or aggressive for no reason, right? So it's just like dealing with shitty people. That can happen. And personally, I feel like people that you surround yourself with or people that you meet could really alter the experience. So be careful. Be nice. Especially if you're going through the crowd and stuff. Just be respectful. Say excuse me. Just be kind to people. Let people buy if anything. Don't be a dickhead. Yeah, don't shove people. Don't run through crowds and everything. Just have common courtesy. Exactly. People that you're around with, like whether you're on the floor dancing and stuff, who you meet, like it could really just spark like the energy, or it just could make or break your experience. Other cons, honestly, it really revolves around people, and it's a lot of situational stuff. What else can I think of for cons? Honestly, not that much. Just shitty people, because there are people that, like GM said, like you could meet dangerous people, and there's also people that go to these events just to steal. So be careful for pickpocketing. Okay, staying out late is definitely, it's a given because raves are usually at night anyway. So if you want to say that a con is being extremely tired, then it's kind of basically what you're signing up for. Nyariko, what the rave bingo, bro? You gotta go to a rave to do this bingo. Rave bingo, that's real. Frost, oh, the Frost Amphitheater, yeah. And Trilogy's gonna end early too. You do the bingo? I've definitely heard of that. Checklist of what people. Oh yeah, creeps. Again, it's just people make or break the experience for you. I'm personally very used to going to events that end late. Being a night owl on weekends is pretty chill, so it's cool. Oh, getting sick, yeah, it happens sometimes, especially during the flu season. I got sick on Christmas. Yeah, for sure. You're bound to get sick if you're gonna go to all these things. But it's like, yeah, and I got COVID after going to Countdown in 2021. I remember that. But it's like, you just have to realize it's always a risk if you're gonna go out and hang out with people and everything, but it's so worth it to me. That's why I constantly do it. Yeah, some people would get sick, some people have different immune systems. There's a lot more pros than cons. This is why I still go, even like today. So despite hearing all the crappy things about raving and stuff, just know like there's a reason why people love going. Car can get broken into anywhere. Just anywhere. You could get your foot stepped on anywhere. So it's like if you really want to list out those little things, then you can. And the bingo card is not only for raving, there's other things, but it's pretty common nowadays to hear about the bingo card of what you could anticipate at raves, and then you just check it off. Like, for example, if you see people headbanging, you see people trading candy, you see people flooring, it's whatever. Yeah, just check it off. Pros and cons. Okay, another topic to talk about is the effects. How raving has changed, especially now that I'm in my late 20s. I still think I'm pretty young. Don't you guys? Wouldn't you guys say if you're in your late 20s or even 30s? I feel like when it comes to like my level of fitness, I am a lot more consistent at the gym now, and I feel like I'm a lot more healthy, so I could put my body through all this. Yo, like it's a beat down every time you go to events though, for sure. Is it Nemu or Nemu is here? First time chatter, welcome in. Hope all is well. 6 it up. Thank you so much. How are you? Oh, Nemo. Okay, got you. I got you. How'd you come across the stream? Welcome into the first episode of Chat with Wilson. My I guess official first episode for a podcaster talk segment. I'd be getting effed up at EDC. Yeah, there's honestly a lot of cons that you could just look past, because if you're going with good intent and you surround yourself with good people, then there will most likely be pros and more just great vibes and happiness from going to these events, the experiences. Alright, but like nowadays I do get tired. Honestly, I get so tired from events. It depends on how much energy I put in. There's a lot of times where I go on 2-day benders, 3-day benders, even 4 on the end of the year, at the end of the 2023. Yeah, you just have to space out your energy, you know? If you know that you're gonna go all out, for example, during a headliner or the last DJ, that's where your energy comes out. Just give yourself some time to rest the next day, have a recovery meal, stay hydrated. I feel like I'm in a good shape personally right now, even compared to before when I was raving at like in my early 20s and all that. So yeah, Nemo, thank you so much for the follow, by the way, and I'm glad that you stumbled across the stream. Surprised that you just saw it and decided to click. Thank you, thank you. That's when you're up. Okay. A lot to talk about. It's hard to really break down how I want to go in order with all these topics and stuff. But I just thought it would be really cool to talk about raving. Whether you're in your late teens, early 20s, late 20s, 30s, just expect that people of all ages will go. A lot of friends have quote unquote retired or slowed down for good whatever reasons, right? Some people I hear want to like focus on other things in life, or they're just out of their partying phase. They want to like focus on their careers and stuff. It's totally fine. And then there's lots of newcomers and stuff. Expect, you know, the younger audience to be really into it, especially in our modern age where raving is more mainstream. Yeah. Let's see. Friends looked in my eyes and took the keys from me. God. Kids, late teens. So it's like partying, you know? I mean, there are people, we talked about how people would go to events with fake IDs and stuff, and that happens so often, so just a heads up, alright? Gotta be cautious of who you talk to and vibe with. Jay, welcome back. Welcome back to the stream. I have a friend that's retired like 4 times. Yeah, you just hear these things. When you're in the raving scene, you hear when people say, I'm retired after this. I don't know. It's cool if people say it sometimes, but when they say it all the time, it's like, it's whatever. You know, it's their choice at the end of the day. If they don't want to go to events, it's fine. I would like to say hiatus is a more appropriate term, especially if you just want to take a break. It's perfectly normal to not want to go to lots of events. It depends on the person. For me, like I said, I'm in my rave slave era. I call it slaving away, but it's by choice. I'm just infatuated with EDM and the music, and I want to see so many different artists. I like meeting new people. I like vibing with my friends, having like a whole split. It's just there's like that excitement that's still there. Plus, I feel, again, like I said, I feel physically capable of doing this. I feel like my body has adapted to going to events every weekend. There's times where I feel exhausted, which are the big festivals. The most I've ever felt tired was EDC after the 30 days, or Zombieland, because Zombieland's music is very intense. And if you go crazy with it, yeah. Gotta hit him with a, can I see your wristband? I mean, you can. Socialize. Any updates on the rides? No. We'll most likely just meet you there. Definitely up to them. That's their choice, but sometimes they do be lying to themselves. You hear that all the time with our friend groups. Even, I feel like I've said that before. Like, after EDC, I was so exhausted. I was like, I'm retired from EDC. I can't do this. And then a week later, I was like, alright, I'm good. Let's go. EDC 2024, hell yeah. Because the serotonin levels, it hits. It's just like, you don't want the FOMO, but you also want to vibe out and go on these new journeys and experiences with friends. Yeah, after going to events, sometimes it's just like, don't talk about EDM or raving right now. Just let me recover, rejuvenate. Welcome back to Roel and our old group is strong, and some of them are in their 40s. You can do it. No, 100%. That's why, like, I feel like I'm still young. I guess I'm fine. I'm not gonna complain about like being old or anything. So yeah. I think that's the candy I traded you. Wait, what? Which one? There's so many people. Like, I see people in their 50s and 60s. I see parents and their kids going together to events. It's so cool. So just expect a lot of different age groups to go. Oh, the Rave Slave. Okay, I have a few of those. So the fact that you gave me one. Okay. Drew Carey is 65 in raves. Ooh. Oh yeah. People tend to get VIP access in GA Plus to go to these events because it brings a whole different experience. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it's like festivals and shows. There's different values for these tickets because each type of ticket gives you different like access, or there's like different perks. So if you're like general admission, that's like the bare minimum, and then VIP would give you like a certain access way, or maybe even like your own specific bathrooms, or like a whole experience to like meet DJs, for example, if you get that package. There's just like various things, and it really depends if you want to, depends on the type of experience you want to have and how much money you're willing to spend. Yep. So that's the talk about different age groups. New ravers advice. Let's move into that. A lot of times you're gonna potentially bump into people who are new to raving. I hear about new ravers all the time, and it's so cool. Like, to me, there's a beauty of it, because being able to see these baby ravers, call them baby ravers or new ravers, like to be able to see how they experience things, and to know, like, for the most part, that I've seen that they've been having fun and all, it's so special. It's like it's kind of like seeing yourself, like, from your past. Like, how do you explain it? It's nostalgic in a sense. When you see in their eyes where they personally just enjoy the experience, it makes you feel happy. It's like, yo, welcome to this new world of raving. New raver advice. It's a marathon, not a race. Yeah, like, you don't want to burn yourself out and go to all these events and just be like, I don't know, just, again, burnt out. Kind of reminds me of high school, when people start drinking and everything early, and then they stop early for those reasons because they're gassed out. Like, it's a marathon, guys. If you want to go to all these events and have that longevity for raving, it's at Pier. It's at Pier, Quiz. If you want to go, come through. Come through. I'll see you this weekend. It's settled. No backing out. Just buy the ticket. You could always take more, but you can never take less. What are you talking about there, Drew? I'm kind of curious about what kind of advice this is. All right, but new raver advice. Again, people that you go with make or break the experience. It would be better for you to go with at least one person, whether it's their first time or not. Just have someone with you that you could kind of like depend on, and that you know you could vibe with when it comes to music. Have an open mind when it comes to the style of music, because people like different genres and everything. Read. I feel like you should read into like the details of what you're allowed to bring to certain venues and stuff, because at the end of the day, you're using a lot of energy when you rave and dance and stuff. You want to have water and just rave essentials in general, like hydro packs, for example. There's a lot of things you could bring. Like, if we're talking about festivals, you could bring things to keep you warm. You could bring like thermal blankets, hand warmers. You could bring sanitizer, wet wipes. You could bring the nasal inhaler Vicks, you know, clear your nose, feel refreshed. You could bring gum. It's usually all sealed. Wait, it can be anything. Okay. If you guys are trying to like, oh yeah, and another advice: be responsible. Please be responsible. Like, if you're gonna drink pregame, if you're gonna take stuff, because I know people go and they take all these sorts of party favors, drugs, and all that. Right? Like, just be safe. Whatever your intentions are to go to these events, just be safe and be good to people. Yeah, stay hydrated, 100%. There's a lot of times where people get way too effed up and can't handle themselves. It depends on the group. Like, there's people that will take care of you, right, if you're going with them, but don't expect people to take care of you all the time. I guess it's okay if it happens once, but you just learn from your mistakes if anything were to happen. Know your limits. And yeah, oh, another pro, you could definitely, yeah, express yourself however you want. As I've like raved and everything, I've seen many different styles and outfits. For me, I dress pretty casual, I would say. But, you know, starting to change things up with the bandana, the glasses, all different type of candy, the different color schemes. It's fun to like either match with people or just wear different things. I would say it's easier for guys anyways too, because realistically, like, a lot of people just wear jerseys, different jerseys. A lot of dudes like go shirtless anyways. Yeah, it's whatever. You want to express yourself, have a good time. As long as you're safe, that's chill. Yeah. And more advice is more so about like the etiquette. Again, just say excuse me if you go through the crowds. Oh, you could also bring fans. I forgot to say fans to keep everyone cool because it gets super hot. Learn to take breaks too. If you want to sit, make sure to sit. Have the right timing to use the restroom and stuff, because sometimes you don't want to miss like the main event, and sometimes you want to be in a good spot because it could get crowded, right? So you use the restroom early, you break the seal and everything. Yeah. Ooh, fan other people. That's a great way to like meet nice people, I swear. Just fanning people. There are certain people I don't invite anymore because they're too irresponsible. I end up having to babysit. Yeah, people don't. You learn to really dislike it if your friends get too fucked up all the time. So just don't put yourself through that. What's up, Jacob? Welcome into the first episode. How's it going? You trying to say something about my timing with using the bathrooms? It's been terrible lately, I know. Really? I don't know. I haven't really been noticing your timing for using the restroom, but if you have like a buddy system, if you go with people to use the restroom and all that, and then regroup, then yeah, that's great. You kind of just exposed yourself, huh? If you have to pee, re-up, bro. Okay. Damn, just like that. Again, guys, if you take any substances, party favors, whatever, be safe, know your limits, learn from your experiences. Everyone's body's different. Have someone to take care of you. Take care of your friends. Just remember, you go to these events to have a good time overall, right? So just create a safe environment for yourself and your people. Will, thank you so much for the resub for 22 months, man. Welcome in. I had to pee right when Grabbits came on during Countdown. Grabbits wasn't too packed though, so it's not bad. I remember it wasn't too packed. But yeah, I guess there's a lot of tricks and stuff. When you take stuff and even like drink, it can make your system very, very dry. So again, hydrate. Hydrate. What's up, Santi? Hi, Santi. Welcome in. I've never done substances. It's totally up to you if you want to do substances, but be safe with it regardless. We talked about the rave culture, trading candy, which is so awesome. Different type of ravers. We could talk about, let's talk about going with the groups. So more into detail about the groups you go with. Some people like going solo. And going solo has pros and cons. The pros are you're able to do whatever you want. You could go explore wherever. You don't have to depend on anyone, vice versa. They don't have to depend on you. And you get to experience whatever. It's kind of like traveling too, if you're gonna go on solo trips. But if you're gonna go with like a group, have great communication, whether it's a small group or big group. If you're the type of person that likes to split from your group, communicate it well with them, have meetup spots and everything. Because if your intent is to just go separate, then that's almost basically going solo anyways. But when you are forming a group itself, there's going to be a lot of different types of people in a group, right? There's going to be those who act as parents, rave parents. There could potentially be baby ravers, those who are more new to the scene. At times, there's usually certain people that kind of take initiative and lead of like, or take charge of setting expectations, like meetup times, where to go within the crowds, those who do head counts, those who kind of like hold everyone, like they take account of everything and they just make sure everything goes smoothly for everyone. You pee before you go in. That's a good tip. Yeah, for sure. Pee before it gets busy regardless. Just get it out of your system. If you're... Let's talk about, okay, groups, right? We're talking about groups. More pros and cons. It depends on the person with the group and depends on the size. I feel like I could talk about this with other people to get their opinions, but there is a huge difference when you go with big groups versus small groups. Me being realistic, if you go to a festival with a big group, you could expect people to have different tastes in music, so you're bound to split up and everything. But if you guys do want to meet up, just have like set meetup spots and times. Another advice type of thing is to have timestamps when you text people, because the service could be really shitty. So for example, if you split up from your group, you want to say, hey, let's meet at this time. Let's meet at 8 p.m. And if it's like 7:30, you just leave a timestamp saying that, oh, I sent this message at 7:30. So you could expect to get to that meetup spot at 8 whenever you get the text. Hopefully you do, because service is shit. Can depend on cell signal at some places. Exactly. You don't want to be lost sometimes, because it gets annoying sometimes, especially if you're the one who takes charge and tries to get people all together. It could be very frustrating dealing with the signal, trying to regroup, trying to meet up with people, because you're wasting time, you're using a lot of energy, and it could be frustrating. It could like really build up, and you don't want to ruin your experience, and you don't want to ruin other people's experiences. So, I mean, that's a general thing. Having strong communication is important. Yeah, getting stuck in crowds and stuff is tough. You could have like a window of like time to meet up. So be like, okay, I'm gonna be at this spot from 7:30 to 8. Or yeah, just like that. So another thing I want to talk about with groups. So yeah, big groups, you could only do so much with big groups because there's so many different type of ravers, right? I think this is fun to talk about. What type of raver are you? You might not know if you're new. You might be one who exerts a lot of energy, or you might be a really, really tamed and chill type. I lost Wilson in the crowd, bro. It's okay. Yeah, you did. Yeah, Ali, you know what I'm talking about. You have some friends that love to use high energy. You have friends that don't want to use that type of energy and you just want to be to yourself. You have friends that might be like, hey, just let me be in my own personal bubble. Let me just vibe out and jam. You got those headbangers and you have those head nodders. You have those fist bumpers, jumpy people, and you got the finger bumpers. Yeah. And a catalyst to this, or something that might influence your style, is by taking these party favors or being under the influence of like alcohol and whatever, right? Because it could bring you to a different element and state of mind. So being specific, if you're the type of person that is super tame and chill when you're on, just respect their boundaries, let it be known. If you're high energy, don't be disruptive. Yeah. There's so many different type of things. He has the don't touch me look or the rolling girl dance. I'm always swaying. Yeah, you could be a slaver and chill. Just know that you're all there for a good time anyways, and you know, it's quite a different experience when you go sober versus not sober. No matter what, just be respectful. Be safe. Shit can happen. There could be a lot of effects. And just a lot of things could go down within a short amount of time, especially when you're at these events. But at the same time goes by so quick anyways. Especially when you're having fun. So rave parents, if you are taking initiative to be in charge, yo, take care of everyone then. Be on the lookout. But also try to have that balance to have fun. Oh, another thing, back to the advice thing. If you are the DD, you're the designated driver. Don't put your group at risk by getting too effed up or anything. Be safe. Make sure you're completely sober before you go home and everything. You're responsible. A lot of people's lives are at stake with you. Pico is here. What's up, broskies? It's been a while. Happy New Year's to you. Thank you for dropping by the Chat with Wilson podcast episode 1 stream. What's good? Yeah, so we talked about why it's so fun. Having different type of groups, why people enjoy and love it. For me, I talked about how I just love meeting new people and just vibing with people. Even if it's like a one-time thing, it really depends on, like, you want to keep in touch with people and trade like information, social media, you definitely can, because there's just so many different types of people out there. You could connect with people, you might not. And then who knows, you could end up going to events with these new people and new friends. You just build a group or all these like type of friendships, even online. Like I met so many people from Twitch that rave, such as you guys in chat, so it works out. Think you'll ever retire? Oh yeah, eventually I feel like there will be a point where I'll leave it in the past and I'll be completely done with it. I wouldn't say anytime soon because I'm still enjoying it, and you know, I'd still like to think I'm in my prime. So I'm looking forward to future events, meetups, meeting new people, maybe even like meetups with people on Twitch again, or even new ravers. It's always exciting with new ravers. Again, I talked about how it's pretty nice when you see the light in their eyes, the glimmer. Wilson and Hai became my peer homie. It's not even just peer homies. I would say rave homies too, because I like invite you to events, you invite me, and I really appreciate when people invite me to events. I have a hard time saying no if it's like to these raves and stuff, especially if it's local. If you're not local and you're inviting me to these events, nah, don't expect me to just go. Yeah, prime. Capital P though, prime. You will one day and pay us back with your music. Oh dude, yeah, having friends that DJ too is very exciting. It's so sick to like support them and see them like make music and just like mix. It's always a vibe. After parties and stuff, you could go on and on with that. But summarizing things with your group, just know that there's gonna be a lot of different type of people. Know your boundaries, know your limitations. Again, be respectful, don't be a shithead. And just know that it's all about having fun. When in doubt, re-up. Trust. Yeah, know your limits when it comes to party favors, okay? There's that too. You don't want to go to the medical tent or anything. But luckily, a lot of events have people that will take care of you. And if anything ever were to happen, just be completely honest. Because those people who work there are trying to save your life and they're just trying to help you. I got sent on that couch. You had a good time and you were safe. That's all that matters. Med tent, yes. There's a lot of stories and things that I've seen and other people have seen. Also, the med tent for ball drop, that's why I wasn't with y'all at Raving. Oh yeah, plus you were at Porter Robinson, right? We could get into details of all these story times and stuff. I don't know how deep I want to get into when it comes to party favors. I feel like if you know, you know. What else could we talk about? There's... Yeah, you won't get in trouble. Yeah, exactly. Find yourself in a predicament, they're just trying to make sure you're okay. Absolutely. Ooh, let's talk about my personal favorite events in 2023. Shoutouts to Pal again for giving me this idea. Oh my god, yes, earplugs too. Yo, that is one of the biggest things I've learned about going to these events. Have earplugs. Just use earplugs for the sake of like your health and future going forward, longevity. It is life-changing. You could still hear the music and you could still have a great time. You might not be able to hear well when you're near people, but there's a trick. Just push onto your ear or the earplug and you could hear perfectly just fine. But earplugs will save your life because it is very annoying to hear loud music and then to go home with ringing ears. That has happened so many times. It took me so many years to finally realize, yeah, I should get earplugs. And I started using earplugs in like 2022. Yeah, ringing ears ain't the move. Yeah, know your limit and don't depend on others. Exactly, yeah. Yeah, so favorite events overall. I talked about my favorite DJ, Lenium's my goat. Favorite event and least favorite events. I could... Maybe not just 2023, I'll talk about everything. I think my favorite event of all time is for sure EDC. But I don't want to compare. I don't want to say like if it's 2022 or 2023's. But maybe 2024 will be the move. Earplugs, I think they do have earplugs. It depends on the venue and stuff. Joanne, happy New Year's to you. What's up? Welcome to the stream. Welcome into my very first podcast segment, just chatting with Wilson. Episode 1. We had episode 0, the unofficial and official first episode yesterday. But a major topic that I want to talk about is raving, so that's why that is the first episode. But yeah, how have you been? I really hope you've been well. I haven't been on Twitch as often as I'd like. Easing into it again. Me and Will at Rails. Oh yeah, your positioning is important. If you like being the type of person to go up front, by all means, do your thing. Do your thing. But it gets pretty hectic usually when you're up in front. When are we meeting? Ooh, if you come back. Unless... Wait, no. Trilogy might be the move too. I'm so happy I got to catch this. No, I appreciate you for tuning in, really, for dropping by. Anything new with you? OnlyFans? If you guys click on the OnlyFans, I expect you guys to subscribe, okay? So, just putting it out there. You definitely don't have to, but there is a link. I don't know if it works. You might have to just click and find out. First 10 people to sub are free. Whoa. How can you... That's implying that 10 people haven't subbed yet. Okay, you guys don't gotta go crazy with the OnlyFans. So back on the topic. Back on the topic about raving and stuff. So, favorite event is EDC. Why EDC? It's because well, it's multiple days. And it's usually the time when most of my friends come together for this huge event. Just think of TwitchCon, but for raving. TwitchCon is a huge event for all streamers to come together. EDC is like that for me personally. There's so many different stages, different type of artists and style of music. It is the adult raving Disneyland. You get to plan going to like the Airbnbs with your friends, and you just meet up with so many people. So many people from all around the world go too. So I would definitely recommend for you guys to experience it at least once. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas is not true. As much as I like to say, or as much as I hear that, that's not true. The Nash Warrior, that is not true either. You're such a troll. Yeah, Wilson, it doesn't. Back on the topic. So EDC, going for my 3rd year in a row, and I'm really excited for it. I really am. Like, it's so cool to know that so many people just go from Twitch and people that I've been meeting IRL. But remember all the tips we talked about, okay? Service ain't the best. And oh, I haven't really talked about this too. Just have set times and familiarize yourself with the map. For EDC, it is the Motor Speedway. It is like an oval because it's like a racetrack. So yeah. Yo, Cheesy, thanks for dropping by the stream. What's up? Wild West. EDC is huge, but the first year I went, it was like a magical experience and I had to like absorb everything. But then the second time around, I was like, okay, I know exactly what to expect. I understand the layout and everything. And it is just so fun to like be there the second time around, just being more experienced. And I hope what happens at EDC stays in EDC unless I vlog it. We're gonna vlog. The reason why I stopped vlogging a lot of these events and stuff realistically is because I don't like showing footage of so many effed up people, and you know what I mean. So I tried to keep it at a minimum, because like at Countdown I was like, yeah, friends, oh shit, let's not put that in the video. Yeah, I'm just keeping it real, alright? So I stopped vlogging. I've been living in the moment quite a lot. So shoutouts to Ali for doing this previous vlog at Countdown. Oh god, you guys are going on with the gambling again? Interesting. Interesting, I must say. No, Ali, I gave you a shout out for doing the vlog. The slander vlog and the Countdown vlog. Thank you for recording for me. 2023 was a lot about me living in the moment, so I didn't record as much. Do you have a command? Countdown 2023 is the vlog. And I think there might be a slander command. I don't remember though. Alright, so that's EDC. If you guys are going in 2024, I'll see you there. Hopefully we can meet up and everything. I met up with so many friends for the first time at EDC. Yeah, see you there. See you there. So that's my favorite event. I'd say 22 and 23 were my favorite events of all time for festivals, raves, everything. I don't want to compare it too much just because I had 2 different groups and they were both like wonderful experiences. Favorite show of all time? I want to say it was way back then, but I don't even remember what happened anymore. There was like such great shows. So I'm just gonna base it off of like 22 to today. What was my favorite show? Maybe Slander in LA. Slander at the convention center was so fun to me because day 2, especially because I had so much space. I loved the music, great crowd and vibes all around. Man, that lineup was just so good. That was like one of the dream lineups for me personally, if it had to like be narrowed down to like 3 people. 2024, I will edit my own vlogs. You damn right. Yeah, day 2, we stayed more so in the back. So that's why we had more space. Day 1 was exciting because we had so many people that went. There was like around 20 people in our group, but it was way too crowded. We were a little bit split up and it was just like way too close to the front. Isaac, Papa Bear Sunny, thank you for the lurkies. Hope all is well with you. What's up, buddy? Yeah. Please give them back. Oh my god. I'll give it back. Hold up. So let's talk about least favorite events. Least favorite events for me. There's quite a few. I must say that I suffered so much when I went to my first event with Viv, Amber, and Smokes at Audiotistic because I had a really heavy leg day the day before. Or like a few days before, and it was hurting so much. That was like my reintroduction to raving again in 22 after EDC. So I was so sore. It was so hot, and I was wearing all black. We pre-gamed, and I haven't drank like that in a while, so I felt so shitty. Just imagine being super drunk while it's super hot and you're extremely sore. So I was hating myself for the most part. And then by the time we really needed to take a break, I felt so bad because Smokes wanted to... He wanted to see Troy Boy. That was his favorite artist, and that happened to be the artist that we took a break during that set, and he missed it. Oh, it was so sad. Yeah. So that happened. Oh man, you guys are still going crazy with it. Other worst events. Nightmare. Nightmare of 2022. That was on December 2nd. The only reason why it was a really bad experience for me is because I had kidney stones during that time. I thought it was just back pain, but it was like the worst feeling I've ever had while being at an event. So I was dying. It was so brutal just to stand. I did not have a good time whatsoever. Plus, I went with only Roger, so it was just two of us. But like, I was just so dead. I couldn't. But I really appreciate the fact that he bought my ticket and he took me there, so need a redemption. The thing is, I didn't know it was kidney stones at the time. I thought it was just really like bad back pain because I was streaming a lot back then. When I say I was streaming a lot back then, I was averaging like around 250 hours the month or something. It was a lot of consecutive days of streaming for like 10 plus hours. And I thought I just really ruined my back from sitting that way. That was when I was super addicted to streaming. So yeah, I thought I had back pain. I even bought a new chair because I thought it was the chair, and then I went to the doctors, had it like, got a scan, and yeah. And by the time I figured it was kidney stones, I actually recovered, thankfully, so. No more kidney stones in 2023. So those are probably the worst times. Oh, and also another bad event was Countdown of 2021. Only because... So we were in a car with 5 people, right? Full car. At the end of the night for day 1, 3 of our friends out of that 5 group got their phones stolen. So they all got pickpocketed. We split up from 2 of them and they got pickpocketed. And then our friend Vinny, the one set he decides to leave me. He decides to leave me, Hein, and our other friend TJ that we met up with. He's like, I'm gonna go to the other stage. I'm like, are you sure? We're gonna meet up with you there anyways after this set. He's like, nah, I'm gonna go ahead. And he loses his phone. I had no idea that he lost his phone. 3 phones stolen in 2 months? Jesus. And Countdown 22 was actually fun for me, even though it rained. So... I remember this. It was the ball drop, right? 3, 2, 1, yeah, blah, blah, blah. We're vibing. Everyone's just chilling. Me and my 2 friends at the time, I think, that were there. And then I just get like a phone call at the event after ball drop. And it's like Vinny panicking and stuff. He's like, someone stole my phone. And that was my first time ever experiencing having or knowing someone that got their phone stolen at an event. Plus, it was our first time at Countdown at the NOS Center. So I was like kind of stressed, and I was like, what the hell? Like, does that mean we gotta leave? Like, what do we do? And then we left. He was so upset. It was so bad because we went back to the car early and we couldn't contact our friends, the 2 friends. So we waited for like 3 hours or something just in the car while being miserable. And cold. It was so cold. And then I believe I kind of forgot what happened. And I think we learned that our friends ended up riding with other people anyways. So we waited for like almost no reason in a way. So that sucked. And then we found out that they lost their phones. Yeah, and then it was so bad, like it was so depressing to the point where we decided not to go to day 2. And then we stayed at the Airbnb. And then I bought Vinny some lunch, you know, felt a little bad for him. He was a downer for good reasons. Yeah, and he had to use my phone a lot too. And this was when I was recording too, the vlog and everything. I'll be right back. Sounds good. Sounds good. Okay, but moving forward to Countdown 22. That was indeed a very tough time because of the rain. Honestly, that was also one of like my favorite events of the year. It's just that the rain made things so difficult and stressful. It was so cold and constantly raining on us while we're at the event. Our ankles were just drenched in the water. My whole ass sweater was super soaked while I was wearing it with the poncho. Damn, it was tough. Babysitting day 2 in the rain, fucking dude. Like, if I'm being honest, I barely survived that. So, Kibble came in clutch, gave me a poncho, and not gonna lie, I survived barely because of the vibes and also because of the party favors. If it weren't for the party favors, I would be a goner. It was one of those moments where it was just like, gotta re-up or gotta be literally down. I had extra ponchos for my friends. Yeah. I didn't re-up, so I was down. No, it's... I feel ashamed. At the same time, I don't feel ashamed saying it, but it's gotten to the point where you had to use it as a strategy. Yuri, welcome in, first time chatter. Hope all is well. Yeah, so that was 2022 countdown. A lot of good and bad, of course. Things has happened. Oh, do your thing with the call. I met my first and only raid bay when I was rolling that year. Wait, where at? What the? That's cool. Hi, Selena. Welcome back to the stream. What's up, Selena? Welcome in to the first, now official podcast, Chat with Wilson, episode 1. Oh yeah, Selena was also there during Countdown 2022. We had such a big group, so many streamer homies. A lot of us did get split up though, so that was quite unfortunate, but it was still such a great time. Biggie Wusa, first time chatter, welcome in. How's it going? Yeah, I could definitely show the vlogs and everything in the future, but we're just like going over favorite and least favorite events like overall. But still, that was a great time. Emotional roller coaster of an event. I think I would be traumatized if I went to another event with such crazy rain like that, especially if it's at the NOS Center where there's not a lot of service. Yeah. What's up, Biggie? How'd you come across the stream, and why are you asking about my bench? Are you assuming that I work out? Alright, other things that are new with the relative of Raving. TikTok. I have like a separate TikTok account, and I've been doing a lot of random rave content. That's just super random, but I just wanted that to be known. I guess I want to be more into it, and I want to just do more random ass content for it. It's a great way to meet new people. Quick story. You know how like I stream on Twitch, right? And you could connect with other people, like with all you guys. Absolutely amazing. Long time lurker. Oh, wait, Biggie, so do you know me? But then TikTok is actually another way to meet new people. It's so cool. So what I did this recently was I made a TikTok where I was like, hey, if you're in the Bay Area and you want someone to potentially rave with, yo, hit me up. Follow my Instagram. And then, yeah, message me if you're down. And it actually worked. A few people have actually messaged me because of TikTok. And then we met up. I would call it a success story. One of the homies, AJ. So, I'm not going to say too much, but he basically moved from a different state and was looking to have friends to rave with and stuff. So the fact that he actually messaged me through that TikTok video and then we ended up meeting at Arm & Hammer was like the start of something new, because now we invite each other to go to all these different events and everything. Such as this week. So if you guys go to Sabai up here, I'll see y'all there. Oh really, Biggie? You found me through Insta. Thanks for joining the stream. Okay, but benching though, like I haven't benched heavy like that in a long time. The most I've ever tried was 195. I have never tried to push over that. But that was a long time ago. That was like months ago. So yeah, success story. Makes me very happy that I was able to do that. I'm specifically talking about TikTok because I'm leading into one crazy story. Okay, so this is a story time. I know I've been talking about lots of thoughts about raving and stuff, but not specific stories. Absolute unit, nah. You guys hype me up. I only give myself credit for being consistent with the gym, but everything else, it's just a lifestyle now where I just feel better. So I'm also proud of you guys for going, and you guys really do motivate me. So, TikTok. So one time this past October, I went to Escape, my first Escape. If you guys don't know what Escape is, it is a festival, a Halloween themed festival in SoCal at San Bernardino. Again, NOS Center. Not the best because it's pretty sketched and service sucks. But anyways, a lot of events are held there anyways. So at that place, like, I've been in the mood where I've been meeting so many cool people and I just love talking to people and just like vibing. And I'm also self-conscious at the same time because I want people to know that I'm genuine and I have good intentions when I try to like talk to people and meet people like that. And for the most part, it's like great, right? So, one time, I forgot which set it was. I don't think the set's really important, but day one, if you guys were there, then you guys know this story. If you guys were with me. So day one, we met so many people. We met like, there was like a separate group at one point of like new ravers. And this girl was super nice and she was talking about how it was her first rave and she was super hyped. And I told you guys how it's so cool to me when I meet people that express that it's their first rave and I could see like the enjoyment or the joy in their eyes and everything. So yeah, cool group. It was a lot of living in the moment, so didn't really talk as much. It was like basic info about like, oh yeah, also from the Bay, first event, such a good time, Escape goes crazy, traded candies and everything. And it was one of the moments where I actually didn't ask to exchange like social media or info, right? I always regret those moments. There's just a lot of times where I meet really cool people and I forget to exchange info. So where I'm going with this is after the day one, that happened, and then day two went by. After day two, I went back to the hotel or Airbnb I was staying at with Chill, a friend, and I was like, you know what? I've seen it happen on TikTok where there's missing connection videos. What that means is someone makes a video of being like, hey, I was at this event and I met someone really cool, and they gave a whole description of what this person was like, where it happened and all that, and they're like, we basically did not exchange info or anything, so I'm hoping that you guys could tell me who this person is, or hopefully this person will see this video and reach out to me, and then we could connect. Right? So that's like the gist of it. I saw that before and I was like, you know what? That would be a cool idea. Candy with socials? That's true. I've done that before. So I made a video. And this is after day 2. And I want to give full context and like just be completely honest and everything, right? So this was after the event. I remember I was in the car, we had a great time. Cho was pretty tired. It was cold as fuck. It was so windy and everything. I thought about that video and the missing connections thing. So I ended up making a video on the spot. And I was like, hey, I met this really cool girl during this time. And I explained what she looked like and everything, her name. I posted it. And I was like, if anyone knows who this is or if she sees this, like message me and all that. So I did the exact same thing that I saw. Missing connections. I did the same thing. Okay, but I do want to point out that I specifically mentioned in the video, I have no intentions of trying to like find her as a rave bae or anything. It was just like a genuine like as a friend thing. But then more context is that it was after the event and I had I had my shades on and everything. And the reason why is because when you take party favors, you know there's after effects. But I'm gonna straight up say that it's not e-love or anything, because this was literally a day after and I didn't even know the person like that, right? So I made a missing connection video. I also pointed that out, that I was wearing the glasses and stuff, and I was just like chilling with my friend. What's up, Steve? After I post the video, I do not look at my phone until the next day. Right? The next day, I finally look at my phone when we're on our way to like go back. I'm still in SoCal, so I'm on vacay, where we're leaving from our hotel and everything. I look at my phone, the TikTok, and the video blew up. It blew up in like regards to the standards of like rave TikToks. So I don't know, everyone can have a different definition of what's considered blowing up. Like we're talking about like over tens of thousands of views. This one specifically got like over 30,000, and it's mostly people from the rave community, right? I shit you not. The comments were so brutal. All the comments, like I would say 90%, at least on the first day, 90 to 95% of the comments were just a bunch of people shitting on me. It was the most disgusting comments like that I just didn't expect out of that video. And they were grilling me. Like there's so many things like I could say like what they said, but it all has to do with like, oh, she don't want you, bro, or like something about, oh, you love, or this ain't it, you still have time to delete this. There's like a lot, right? And then at first I was like trying to comment on like a lot of these like I was messaging them back. Like it didn't really matter though, because I realized like most of them didn't even reply, or like a lot of people didn't like believe me anyways what my intentions were and stuff. So then it was bad. It just kept going throughout the whole day. So just imagine like after going to like such a fun event, thinking that this video would work out, like you just get shitted on constantly throughout the day. Yeah. And even till this day, you guys can probably see it, because I kept most of the comments up. I was like, I blocked some people, but then I kept a lot of the comments up. And then there were some people that were like, dude, why are the comments so disgusting? Like, there's so many missing connection stuff before, but this is the worst they've ever seen. A lot of people were like calling me like fucking like Kevin knew it and stuff, because apparently I look like a fuckboy and everything, especially in the Asian raving community and all that. It was disgusting. And then my friends even saw it and they were trying to like console me, and they're just like, hey, don't listen to it. It's all bad. And Merrick, welcome in, by the way. Episode 1, officially. Yeah, people were just being mean, and most of the comments I tried to explain myself because I realized, like, they're ravers too. And I don't want to, like, create a bad image in the raving community. And then I realized, like, dude, these people are in the raving community, they're such shitheads. Like, being straight up. Like, I'm just like, damn. People are disgusting. And then I noticed that a lot of them also have mutuals with me, like on Instagram and stuff, and I'm just like, damn, these people don't know me, and we have mutuals and stuff, and then this is like their perception of me through this. So it's so crazy to me. Yeah, community has changed and everything. It was a lot of the rave community for sure, because I looked at their profiles and everything. And for the most part, yeah, so a lot of comments later. I actually made a second video to even explain myself, and there were still shitty comments on that second video, even from the same people from the first one too. It's like people that have seen it. A lot of really annoying comments for sure. So I felt some type of way, of course, at first, and then like over time during the day, I just got so immune to it. Yeah, it was the video after Escape. See, Merrick was at Escape with me, so he knows exactly what I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, there were some cool people that are really nice. I did not find that missing connection, so no one like came through to be able to explain who the person was. It's still up, and although there was a lot of bad from that video, I feel like a lot of good came out of it. And why is because, like, weeks later, because I told you guys that I've been going to raves every week, right? So weeks later, I'm back at home and I'm going to like these events. This happened twice so far. I want to say at least 2 times from what I recall. At an event, specifically at Midway and SF, I forgot. I think it was either Tritonal or Jessica Audrefred. I was walking around, and this guy that I've never seen before bumps into me, or like he saw me, and then he's like, he was like, "Hey man, I hope you find her." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Your TikTok. I've seen you on TikTok. I hope you find her." I'm like, "What the hell?" Like, that's so crazy to me. And I'm like, "Oh, thanks for being so nice and blah blah blah." And then I asked for his name and everything. And yeah, he was a really good guy. And then a second time, it was at Pier. I forgot which event it was. But I met some friends, and they had their other friends there, right? So when I was introducing myself, they're like, "Oh, are you Wilson?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then they're like, I've seen your TikToks before." And I saw like all the nasty comments and everything. They're like, she was like, "I'm so happy that you were so positive about it though, and you didn't like let it really affect you. Like, you seem like you're a really cool person and all that." So being able to hear that in person from someone that saw that TikTok was like so crazy cool. So that was another experience. Yeah, very nice. Fun interactions, Plur. Yeah. Oh, and actually there was a third moment. So recently, it was at Countdown, right? So what happened was I met with a different group, and there's a guy in the group that I met before once, but I think he forgot that we met each other because it was months ago at like Nocturnal. So when I said what's up to him, I was like, "Hey, what's up, man? It's nice seeing you again." And he goes, "Oh, I've seen your TikToks before." I'm like, "Bro, we've met before though." So it was like a really funny moment. Yeah, just like that. So that TikTok experience from Escape definitely brought attention, both positive and negative attention. Yeah, and now moving forward, I don't know where I want to go with it, but I'm gonna try to vlog all these events or like just these travels, and then just post more random stuff on that TikTok account. I actually have two TikTok accounts. That one's my personal one. When I say personal, it means it's more about whatever goes on in my life, whatever I decide to do on the spot. There's no specific direction for it, although I've been making a lot of rave content on that, or rave related stuff. And then there's the one that you could see on the stream, but that's more so about like Valorant gaming and everything. But yeah, that's another story, I should say, I could think of when it comes to interesting encounters and things that have happened in the rave scene. So many rave stories that I could definitely talk about. How do we want to transition from here though? When it comes to raving, what do you guys feel like is a interesting topic to go on about? I feel like I do have one with possible crazy encounters. I'll probably talk about that to wrap things up. Yo, Alzora, take it easy. Thanks for dropping by the stream. Have a great night, man. Thank you, thank you. Alright, getting near to the tail end of the first episode. I'll wrap things up with maybe a few questions after, but crazy encounters. Just so you guys could kind of grasp what type of experiences you could potentially like have, at least through my lens. Let's talk about the pickpocketers. I'm not gonna try to discourage people by telling these stories of pickpocketing and everything, but you have to know that there's like bad people out there. Well, wherever you go. So at these events, especially all these Insomniac festivals and stuff, there are people that literally go as a unit, as like a whole squad, with the intentions of just stealing phones and stealing stuff. Oh, getting recorded. Oh, I can talk about that too. You're right. So yes, they are great pickpocketers. Do not leave things in your pocket unless you have like anti-theft stuff, or just be aware of like your bags and everything. They could even like open up your bag from behind and just like grab it and stuff. I was like a target once at EDC this past year in 2023. It was day one. At the end of the day, like we stayed for a long time. We were there since like around 5 p.m. and this was like almost at 6 a.m. in the morning. So the sun was rising again. It was, I remember Yatep's set. It was like the last set. I was just vibing at the end still, hanging in there by a thread. And apparently 2 guys were right behind me. It was 2 Hispanic dudes. I didn't really notice or anything. But then my friend Smokes, he was like on my far left side. All I remember is just vibing to the music. And there's hella space, by the way. And this guy, I never see this guy move. Like, I've never seen him move so fast. Let alone like at raves and everything. But this guy has that security background and everything. And he went right next to me so quick. And I think he said like, I think he was like, "What the hell are you doing?" to like the guys behind me. And apparently he saw that they were doing something really suspicious behind me. Like one guy was pretending to record, but he was recording like not even the stage, like just a weird angle. And then another guy was doing something weird with his hands, like he couldn't tell if he was trying to go through my bag or not. But then when he stopped them and had a really intense look, like I instantly felt very uncomfortable in that situation, and I pretended to like just ignore it, and I just kept focusing on the music and stuff. All of a sudden the guys pretended, I guess they pretended not to know English, so they were speaking Spanish and stuff, and then they ended up just walking away. So that is like my personal like close encounter of getting pickpocketed. Because I'm pretty sure they were pickpocketers, because a day later or two, there was a TikTok video of people at EDC like shitting on these guys. There's two guys that looked like those dudes behind me. They were like on the floor and everything and getting yelled at and scolded by people for being pickpocketers. So I think they got their ass beat on TikTok. But there's a lot of unlucky situations too. Abel, what's up, Abel, by the way? Thanks for dropping by the stream. Hope all is well. Welcome to the Chat with Wilson, episode 1, podcast chat segment, which will also be on YouTube. And then one more story I just want to talk about is how, because of all the pickpocketing and stuff, I feel like I get some sort of secondhand trauma just knowing like when shit like that goes down, because it's scary, right? When you hear people like lose their shit, and then to be able like to be a potential target is pretty crazy. So at Nocturnal last September, I remember we were at one of the main stages and we were just chilling in the back, and literally the guy next to me, I look to my left and he looks like he's in panic and he's just standing there, and all I see is a phone case on the floor like right next to me. I look down and I'm like holding my phone. I'm like, oh shit, okay, I'm good. And I see this guy looking so lost, and he goes, where's my phone? Like, I have no idea where my phone is. And then I was like looking around, I was like trying to scan like what the heck's going on. A lot of people were there, and then all of a sudden I see a lady, like a Hispanic lady, not even dressed like as a raver. She was next to us. She was just like walking around. I don't know if like her pathing was a little bit weird. It looked like she was following a group. But then this dude came out of nowhere. Like this Asian dude. He came and he was like, yo, like to the group. He's like, yo, this lady has been following you guys for quite some time now. I think she's trying to pickpocket you guys. And then there was like so much confusion. The guy that lost his phone is still like in awe and confused. And then the lady was like kind of ignoring the dude and keeping her head down, and she was like trying to walk away. And then the guy came up to her. He's like, yo, let me see what's in your hand, what's in your pockets, like, and everything. Like, I know you're stealing shit out here. And she was like pretending to just ignore him, and she's trying to walk away, but he goes up to her and he freaking grabs her, and he's like, hell no, you're not going nowhere. And so he pulls her, and then she starts like resisting, and she's trying to leave and run, right? And then all of a sudden he starts grabbing her, like constantly pushing her and pulling her back, and he's like pulling on her hair. And the crazy thing is that it's literally right next to me. Like, if I did this, I'd be touching her and the guy. Like, they're doing this right next to me, and I'm kind of like, in my head, I'm like, nah, I'm not trying to lay my hands on nobody. Like, even though it seems like she probably is a pickpocketer, I'm not gonna start shit like that. Right? Like, I can't. I just can't. There was so much going on. And so they're like scuffling and everything. And then she freaking screams. I just remember hearing her scream, like getting out of his grip. And she just busts through the crowd and she like disappears. And that dude is hella pissed. I made like a whole TikTok video about it too. And he even saw that video and he's like, that was me. And I was like, dude, you really tried and that was awesome. But like, it's so shitty, that whole situation. So poor guy was still there, sad, with like an empty phone case. And he was just going through it. But to see the pickpocketer in person like that right next to me was so wild. Heather, what's up? Welcome in. Hi, Heather. Finishing up a podcast right now. Hope all is well. And that same day, a few hours later, we're leaving, right? Everyone's leaving, and at Nocturnal, there's only one main entrance at the front, so everyone has to like squeeze through. So it's like a huge horde of people. As we're leaving with my group, I see two dudes wearing like big weird blue blankets. they were kind of like going horizontal as we were trying to go towards the exit, and they went behind, like cut through our group, and they were behind Chill, like our friend. And apparently one of the dudes, like they were like covering their blankets like this while being behind him, and I think he slipped his hand into his pocket and tried to grab his phone. And all of a sudden, all I hear Chill is like he reacts and he's like, what the fuck are you doing? Right? And then it like starts like a whole commotion, and the dudes just blatantly ignored him, and then they just kept walking like through the crowd again, like they dipped. And people were like zombies at that point. Everyone's so tired. And then I'm out here like, did I just witness another attempt at pickpocketing? And so I just started like saying out loud, I'm just like, hey, watch out for pickpocketers and everything. And then people were just like trying to be cautious, and it just makes me so frustrated because it's like, what can you really do during those moments? Seeing all of that happen and stuff. Like, what is security gonna do? Where is security and all that? What's up, Andy? So that was another crazy story of witnessing two like pickpocketers. And there are more instances where I've seen pickpocketers, and it's just so trippy. I swear I saw the same lady. That same lady, I swear I saw her at Escape, because they don't dress like they rave. They're wearing like full-on jeans and like, I don't know, like polos, whatever, shirts. Because that same lady, I saw her walking in front of our group, and she walks past me. As she's walking past me, there's like another girl who does look like a raver. She was like wearing some fairy outfit. She was crying. I don't know why. She was just crying, and she was following the lady, and she was just holding like, she was holding a phone case again. So I couldn't tell what was going on. Because they work in teams, I couldn't tell if they knew each other or if she was just suspicious of her and that's why she was following that lady. But this lady is just like walking around. I turn around and I look at her dead in the eyes. And the little Hispanic lady, she stops what she's doing. She looks at me and she starts smiling and starts pretending she's dancing to the music. Like off rhythm and everything, and just out of nowhere. And as soon as she does that, she freaking dips. Like she leaves. So seeing all these like interactions of like pickpocketing, I'm just like, dude, this is so bad, so annoying. It's like you can't do anything unless you catch them in the act or something. So blatant, yeah. Like she was fake dancing. I was like, is this real? There's no way. So that's like the gist of like some crazy interesting rave stories. There's a lot more. There's a lot, like a lot of effed up people. Not like as in bad people, but people getting effed up. The time where like someone yacked on my leg. I've been yacked on twice. So yeah, what's up too? Welcome back. People literally projectile vomited on my leg before. But I just feel bad. I just hope like they're okay, but it still sucks to have that happen to you. There's another method I saw that groups do. Are you talking about like pickpocketers or what? Because they go in a team. I remember that girl up here. Oof. Yeah, pickpocketers, they have one person slide by and grab the phone and they hand it off to someone that's like pretending to be a raver and dancing and stuff. That's what I've seen. So they've definitely done that, and then they would just dip. Yo, Tomo! Good seeing you, what's up? Yo, Ken! Hi, Ken, Happy New Year's to you guys. What's up? Thanks for dropping by the stream. This is episode 1 right now with Chat with Wilson. Finishing up. Getting really close to the end. Yeah, the relay, like the handoff and everything is what I typically hear about, and I swear that's what I've seen. Cause like it's like all over TikTok and everything. Yeah, one person who dresses like a raver, one who doesn't, and they have like a home base type of thing. They give all their stuff to one person. At least that happened at EDC. I think I'm just gonna wrap it up with one more story, which was pretty recent. Michelle brought it up, which is like another crazy thing to me. One I heard about is when they'll send multiple girls through and see which one gets your attention. They'll use that girl to flirt and distract you while the others. Damn, that's wild. The distraction method. And good to know. So everyone just know that people might go above and beyond to just distract you like that and just to flirt with you. Watch your shit, all right? Just protect it. If you have a fanny pack, leave that in front of you. If you have anti-theft like chains and stuff like I do, I definitely use that. I clip it onto my phone, but I hold my phone a lot anyways. Plus, I'm gonna be vlogging a lot more, so I got that. Oh shoot, I totally missed the notification, but Chrissy Chai, thank you so much for the follows, by the way. I don't know if you're still there, but I just saw it on my feed. Welcome in to everyone. Girl calls me handsome, I'll let them take my $2. Some people don't bring their wallets either, or they have like their phone case where they connect or just add their card into their phone. The back of it. I have that. Yeah, you might not need to bring your wallets and everything. Clutch loops. There you go. That's what it's called. Yeah, clutch loops. Alright, wrapping things up with my last story, which happened to the homie Sunshine Mulan and our other friends, I believe. This was at Arm & Hammer, so December 2nd. I'm pretty good with my dates as if they were recent because I've been tracking them, right? So at Arm & Hammer at the Church of Bill Graham, the Rave Church, right? We're just vibing, I think in the middle. So it is getting crowded. I think the artist was Lucy or something, but I just remember it was one of the openers. During that time, it started getting a little bit more crowded, and when you started, I met people, got kind of split up. Michelle, you could add on to the story if anything, but the gist is, I turn around and it seems like they're stressed out. Michelle's frustrated or some shit went down, right? And then all I hear was that there was a guy apparently behind the girls that was recording, like trying to record up their skirts. So whipped out the phone and was just trying to record up their skirts. Absolutely disgusting behavior. And the girls didn't know because it wasn't until like this random group, like a guy apparently came up to her and was like, hey, do you know this guy? Because this guy was like recording you guys like up your skirts and everything. But then apparently they did try to do something, but the guy just like booked it and he left. He fled. I don't know exactly how he was dressed. I heard apparently that he was wearing a hood or something, so people couldn't really tell who it was. But yeah, you're saying that you wanted to fight him and these guys tried to stop him and he dipped. So it's crazy that there's just so many, like, you can't make this up. Disgusting behavior. Yeah, they have the nerve to do things like that. My friend Ryan, he was in our group and he was so heated because he thought that he saw the guy too and didn't realize that that was happening to the girls. Your friend got choked? My friend's friend got choked? Dude, yeah. People get a little too crazy and out of hand at events. Oh man. Oh my god, dude, there's actually so many stories now that I'm thinking about it. Speaking of that, you guys just sparked something. Yeah, Arm & Hammer anyways went crazy. Just be safe, alright? The final gist. Alright, last story. Last story. I just want to bring it up because he talked about altercations and throwing hands. So this was back in Millennium in June at the Chase Center. I believe this was day 3. No, because Millennium had a throwback set and then two sets at the Chase Center. It was like a 3-day bender. So I was seated. Damn, I forgot who I was with. Which group? My memory is like so foggy with the group. But I was with some homies. We were sitting in the rows, the sections. And this group of people, this guy was so drunk, out of his mind. And he was with his girlfriend and like some friends. And then there was like another group, like a buff dude and his friends, right? They started getting into it. The drunk guy and the buff dude, they started like chirping, a lot of chirping, and getting super aggressive and angry for no reason. And then all you see is like the drunk dude's girlfriend who's trying to pull him away, and she keeps yelling at his ass. This is at the end of the event too. So my friends and I were just like sitting back on our chairs like this, and they're literally in front of us, like 2 rows down, because we're just waiting for people to leave, so it's like less crowded while exiting. We're just chilling there, and then this altercation happens where I think both guys were pretty effed up, but the buff dude, he was, I don't know, I think he had like a big ego moment, which I understand because the other guy's provoking him. And so he was just like, what are you gonna do, right? And then they start name calling, the guy's slurring, he's barely walking straight. The guy just comes up, the drunk ass dude punches the dude right in the face. He lands a punch right in the face. And then the buff guy, he like calls him like all these names, and he's like, that's it, like that's it, right? So what he does, you would think that he would try to defend himself, but this dude has his hands down and sticks his face out. So he stuck his face out, and then the drunk dude landed 4 more consecutive punches, all direct hits into his face. And it didn't like knock him out or anything. The guy was like super heated and unfazed. He just ate all the shots. So it was like a showing like dominance moment like that. And then the girlfriend's like yelling and grabbing the drunk ass dude. Security comes, splits them up. They gets taken into the inside. But security didn't do shit. They just walked them out. Because then afterwards, we started heading out. And then the buff dude goes out there. And the drunk guy's out there. Like, and they're there again. So next thing you know, a second fight breaks out with the same people. And then apparently another 2 guys got involved. All I see is like the buff dude's now shirtless. They're all throwing hands. Some dude is like on the floor. And we're like, damn. My friends and I were just like, wow. We didn't know there was a headliner after Millennium. It's kind of crazy. Extra free show. Yeah, but someone got sent to the floor, and then people were like restraining him. And yeah, crazy, just like more random stories. The fact that it just happened right in front of us was like so crazy. Sitting down on the seats and just going back inside to like, we're trying to leave, and then we see them fighting in the hallways and stuff like that. Yeah, main card event actually. Carol, what the bruh? What's up, by the way? Welcome in. You should have joined them in the fight. Hell no. I don't like just like putting hands on people and touching people like that. I couldn't do it for the pickpocketers. I can't do that. So I just stayed away. Yeah, just a lot of crazy things that have happened at these events. Would have won what? Okay. So, any last second questions or anything? Maybe it could be about Raving, whatever, honestly. We'll close things off on a lighter note, and then we're gonna end it here. I do want to say thank you again, guys, for tuning in to this first episode with Chat with Wilson, talking about Raving. Shoutouts to those who gave me the idea. There'll be a lot more topics and even future guests on this podcast. Didn't want to jump in because you wanted to give him a chance. Would you never fight someone? I don't go to events or anything. I have never have intentions of trying to fight. Yeah. Even with bantering, I can only do so much bantering. Like, I stop. I'm just like, I can't do this. Yo, it's positive vibes only. You see it right here, alright? On the bottom. Positive vibes certification. Take it as it is. Oh, you would fight? Okay. If you do, we will restrain you so you don't fight. This drunk guy kept hitting me at the set, and I swear to God, yeah, just dealing with shitty people like that, it's horrible. Okay, no. If it's like, if something crazy is happening, then I think it would be instinctual for me to like have some sort of response, but it would never be in my intention to like start shit, you know? I feel like diffusing the situation would be like the best, of course, at all given times. Something happens to my friends for throwing hands. All right, guys, let's end things on a lighter note. You know, we don't gotta talk about throwing hands or just being upset with drunk people and everything. Shit happens. I get that. Yeah, we'll wrap things up. It's a good note. We ended. Yeah, we love Millennium. See, that's a great one. We love Millennium. Positive Yeoman. Throwing hands at me. I'm holding. Okay. Guys, it's Wilson Streams. We throwing hands with positivity. Exactly. You already know. Millennium, Sabai, all these wonderful artists. We are coming through. Remember, guys, Sabai this weekend on Saturday. If you guys want to pull up, just go for it. Drinking Buzzball that I'm giving you. I'll drink a little bit, but I'm not trying to get effed up like that. Alright, with that being said, that's a wrap. Let's wrap this up. At least for the YouTube segment. Huge shoutouts to you guys for tuning in. Live audience viewers. You can see all their chats and everything. If you guys are tuning in on YouTube, thank you guys so much for being here. Watching the first episode of the Chat with Wilson segment, episode 1. Or you could call it a podcast. All my socials are on the bottom. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. And we'll see how this develops in the future for future episodes. Episode 2, etc. I'm going to have special guests to learn about them. But the primary purpose, again, for the podcast is for me to just speak my mind on various topics that is relevant to my life. And also to have guests here to hear about their perspectives and to get to know them on a more personal level. And yeah, if you guys see that OnlyFans link, if you dare click on it, make sure to subscribe, okay? But that's a wrap. Thank you to everyone, and I'll see you next time. Peace.